Please welcome back to the stage, Vice President, Channel Events, Channel Partners, Bob DiMarzo.
Woo! Woo! How's everybody doing? All right, we got people getting lunch, people filtering in from the breakouts, and so I'll be very, very brief. I love a good case study, particularly as it pertains to how to grow your revenue and elevate your business. How many people like a good case study, a serious case study? Come on, show of hands, a little applause, a little something. Come on, it's the afternoon. We have an incredible lineup of speakers starting here in the next few minutes. We've got a great panel that my good friend Vince Menzione is going to do, sort of a case study with the folks at Ziro and Microsoft. We've got individual presentations from vendors. I've got the big telco leaders that are going to be in a power panel with Kelly and I. Looking forward to it. And then we're going to wrap things up with Shawnee Delaney, who was a spy turned cybersecurity consultant. So this is a great afternoon. Hopefully folks will be coming out of the breakouts and filling in the room. But to do the setup, and I'll bring Vince out in a second, what we asked Vince Menzione is the founder of Ultimate Partnerships to talk about was how are Microsoft partners in particular elevating their business, and what can you learn from that? He has a special guest, CEO and founder of a company called Ziro. That's here. That's why we call it 0 to 100. And we've got a special guest star, Microsoft executive, who's going to sit on the panel. Vince is going to talk about that partnership, how it helped Ziro drive their revenue to new heights, what it takes to work with a big company and get the most out of that relationship. I've known Vince for a long time. He does phenomenal work in the industry. His background was a Microsoft partner executive for many years. Now he does a lot of consulting and work inside the industry, helping vendors, helping partners, running events, and he's a staple here at this event. So we'll hope to have him back many, many times at some great case studies. So without further ado, Vince, why don't you come out on stage and set things up? Please welcome Vince Menzione.
Bobby,
thank you, brother.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for that warm welcome. Oh, man, thank you. Thank you.
Take it away, my friend. It's all yours.
I'm excited to be here back again. This is the third year in a row back on main stage. Thank you, Bobby, for that great introduction. Vince Menzione. I am the CEO and founder of Ultimate Partner, the host of the Ultimate Guide to Partnering podcast. We started a podcast 8 years ago. We're now a platform company helping partners like you achieve your greatest results working with the tech giants like Microsoft. And we host several events and we do a lot of great work. And I have had the great fortune of working with this next organization and its leader, and we're going to bring him on stage, and also, of course, Microsoft. We want to have a conversation today about how they have become the ultimate partner. And so I want to welcome my two friends, Stephen and Arun, to join us. Stephen is the CEO of Ziro, and Arun is Director of Partner Marketing at Microsoft. And delighted to have you both here today. So good to see you. And we've got a great conversation today. No slides, too. I love that. No slides. We want to have, so first I thought maybe, Stephen, spend a moment talking to us about Ziro, your mission.
Sure.
And your transformation.
So great to see everybody today. So I'm Stephen Karachinsky, CEO of Ziro. We turn Microsoft Teams Calling and Copilot into a competitive advantage for partners like yourselves and help make it profitable. Our superpower as a company, speed and simplicity. And so we combine our powerful automation platform with our white label managed services and migration services. We deliver 3 times faster sales for Copilot and telephony sales for partners. We help cut the time to value by 70%, which is more than anyone else in the industry, and help cut a customer's communication costs by over 50%.
Wow.
But for us, this isn't just about selling phones or a phone system. It's about getting that voice data and leveraging it for the power of AI. And this is a data play. And so our ultimate goal is to be the only Microsoft Teams Calling and Copilot partner that you need.
That's fantastic. And we'll talk more about your transformation in a moment. Arun, over to you to introduce yourself and your role at Microsoft.
Sure. I'm super excited to be here. Arun Subramanian. I lead the partner marketing for modern work for the Americas. Have been with Microsoft for 18 years now. Have done a variety of roles across solution sales, product marketing, partner marketing, and I've been fortunate to do that across India, Singapore, and now here in the US. Super excited to be here and looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah. So Stephen, you have a great story, and I want to, you started out in the Cisco world, right? And we think about, you helped me connect the dots too on how voice, data, AI, and how it really lights up everything for an organization. I thought maybe you'd take us through a little bit about your transformation and why you made that transformation.
Sure. So our history, so our business is 15 years old, believe it or not. We're super proud and grateful. Wow. We started off in the Cisco space. Myself and some of our colleagues worked there for several years and saw some gaps where service wasn't being delivered. So we jumped in to offer differentiated service, make this stuff simpler and easier. And long story short, with the advent of cloud and a lot of changes going on within the Cisco organization, we need to find another partner that we can count on. We went from betting on a horse to betting on the market. Yep. But when we perused all the solutions that were out there, we found it was very difficult for us to add value. Most of the plays were resale plays.
Yes.
And then we stumbled onto the Microsoft world. And what we love about working with Microsoft is they really opened the door for us to A, make money, be successful, show our value, and build those long-term intimate relationships with customers. Microsoft is a phenomenal company. They build great technology, and they sell their licenses, but they leave the rest up to the partners.
Yes.
And so it really helped us do that transformation from that kind of engineering to IT and cross that chasm. And since then, it's opened up a ton of doors for us. And instead of being a telephony player, we're now an IT solutions company. And so when we think about, what does that mean for expanding into other communication areas like meeting rooms, video, and now this tremendous Copilot opportunity, that's what's really been driving us.
You brought up something really interesting I want to touch on, because Jay McBain was up here doing the keynote first day, and he talked about the 7 seats at the table and this huge opportunity to tap into a Microsoft. The reseller piece of it is the least important piece. The customers are now making buying decisions, and they're bringing together the solutions they need to drive business outcomes. And there's huge opportunities to lever into that, and I want Arun to touch into that more, because the opportunity is massive, and I know IDC did a recent study and looked at the dollars and the revenue dollars for MSPs and partners of all types working with Microsoft. Arun, can you touch on that with us?
Sure, absolutely. So first and foremost, Microsoft is a platform company, and we are always centric with how we want to go to market with partners. Internally, we have a rallying cry, which is customer first, people, Microsoft employees at the center, partner always. And we believe that partners have this opportunity to capitalize on that platform. For every $1 of Microsoft revenue, services partner gets to make about additional $8. And then the software partners get to make close to about $10. So huge opportunity as you think about how you can extend and provide services across the Microsoft stack. And clearly, as we think about our core company priorities, which is across Copilot on every desk, looking at AI design wins, looking at cybersecurity as the foundation, core M365, and then finally, when you look at migrations, you see there's a huge plethora of opportunities for partners like you to capitalize on that. Yeah. Just in terms of the investments that we are going to make into this whole space around what we call as our SMB and SMC market space, there is phenomenal growth opportunity. We are looking to drive growth upwards of 20% in this market. And as you think about the revenue opportunity for you, you are looking at close to about a $500 billion TAM that's out there.
Wow, huge, huge TAM.
And look, we're living proof that this is real, because Microsoft is opening doors for us to come in and deliver those services. So that $1 of license that you sold for an E5 or an E3 or the phone system light on, we are getting those services today. And then there's different use cases that customers are looking for in different verticals where they bring us in, whether it's healthcare, financial services, to complement and add the levels, build in the integrations with some of their core systems, help a customer manage and support this stuff. You really open the door, and again, that's where our growth has been. So living proof that it's real. And the beauty of working with Microsoft is that because they keep innovating and pushing the limit, we feel comfortable that for the next 10 years, we were talking before, Jay McBain says that in 55% of Fortune 500
Next
won't be
20 years won't be here in 20 years.
So
55%. Yeah.
we're counting 99.9% sure that Microsoft will be here.
Yeah.
And that gives us the confidence to invest a ton in our business to keep growing, betting on the future that you guys are paving the way for. So that's where kind of that symbiotic relationship really thrives.
I'd like to touch in on you kind of alluded to this partnering piece and co-selling. And this is something that's it's ingrained in the Microsoft culture. And even when Jay talks about how organizations are different, Microsoft investing $100 billion a year in cloud infrastructure and build out, and really looking for partners to help sell with. It's not a push, it's a sell with. Talk about how you needed to drive your business a little bit differently in the partnering and co-selling, and how you needed to show up maybe uniquely with Microsoft, which was different than in the past.
Sure. So another really positive outcome from partnering with Microsoft is they help make us a better business. And I know that sounds cliche, and I'm not preaching Microsoft because they're not paying us any money to be here. But what I mean by that is Microsoft is so massive. And to get their account managers and sellers' attention, they coach us and teach us how to show up to deliver a proper value position, what's our differentiators, what are the outcomes that we can drive. So they really helped us up our game, be a lot more clear, focused on what we do to capture their sellers' attention. And when we were able to do that, that's where the matches happen, that's where the doors open. Of course, there's still relationships involved because you got to prove what you can do. But if you show up in the right way, and so the partnering just doesn't go on of hit this certification, we'll put you on a list and you could sell stuff. The partnering really goes in by tying in and building these account plans so you can go after businesses together. And they need help because they've got all these customers and not the biggest sales force in the world. So they help coach us on the way to go get that business and run it together. It's real.
And some signaling from Microsoft these days too is Microsoft is now putting more emphasis on its what they call small, enterprise, small and medium business. They've taken the partner teams and much more tightly aligned them with them. And there's a huge opportunity that Microsoft identifies it now too, that these accounts are not as well tapped into. There's huge opportunities, Stephen, for organizations like yours and other MSPs and solution providers in the room to go work with the Microsoft sellers, because Microsoft can't sell directly and drive the scale that it needs to, but they need to drive these solutions. Talk about what the opportunity drove, right? Because you drove voice, but you drove data, that drove AI, Copilot. It drove all these things, and you lit up the scorecard for Microsoft when you went into an account.
So for sure, and look, especially in this SMB, SMC area that Vince is talking about, you could have one account manager managing the entire Microsoft portfolio. It's impossible. So they depend on partners like us to go in and develop it. So we start off from a voice perspective because that's what we know really well. Right. But the major use cases for AI are all customer service, sales, voice related. So it's a natural way for us to start, leverage that data that is sitting there outside of Copilot today, if it's not in the tenant, and start taking advantage of that for insights, for prompts to the user who's on the phone. And so there's dollars for us as a partner to set that up. There's dollars for us to support and keep iterating on that technology. It's really opened up a ton of doors for us. And what's interesting is an opportunity that is driven by AI ends up starting with, okay, we got to get the phone system in the tenant, then we got to secure all of that data so that it can be mined for AI, and then start running the applications. So you start to see these ops popping up and opening up across different segments of technology, and that's how you get a dollar that turns into $8.45.
Yeah. Arun, anything you'd like to add to that?
Oh, absolutely. So and Stephen, thank you for being a great partner, and I think you really kind of nailed it in terms of the journey of all the opportunity that is out there for you as partners focused from a telephony voice perspective to get all of that data in. Just a data point, we currently have 400 million users on Teams, and that number is only growing.
Wow.
And Teams is the window to the AI journey for us. Most of that AI consumption, everything that Stephen just spoke about in terms of agents for sales, service, customer support, all of that journey begins in Teams. So super important as you think about how you want to partner with Microsoft, get all of that data, that telemetry on which all of that AI is going to act on is going to be super impactful as you try and bring that in and work with Microsoft. So thank you, Stephen, for highlighting that.
So for all the partners in the room today, Stephen, talk to us about the opportunity for them, maybe even to team up with your organization, with Ziro. I know that there's massive opportunities for them for their own growth of their organizations and to make more money and drive more scale for their businesses.
So, we would like the channel community, advisors, agents to think of us as an enabler for your business. Our goal is really to make this stuff so super simple and easy that you don't have to be a Teams expert, you don't have to be a Microsoft expert, you don't have to be a PowerShell expert, but take advantage of leveraging all this technology to help, again, cross that chasm and move into the IT space and take advantage of what you call that next tectonic shift. That's the ultimate goal. The other thing I just want to say, and I think that's important, is talking about this notion of ecosystem and community. Yeah. There's not one partner that can do this alone, and I mentioned this briefly in the speak that we did yesterday. When I think of Microsoft, and this may be a little different to folks in the room who don't know them well, I really think of community. And I have never seen a bigger community in tech than the Microsoft one. As a specific example, they have these things called M365 days, which are in cities across the world, essentially, and I participated in them, and I started going to them to get involved, to meet the community, to understand how it works. And what blew me away is that even on Saturdays, there are 130, 150 people showing up out of their own free will. There's no one's getting paid or anything like that. And they are talking about Microsoft. They are talking about the technology. They are going through use cases. So bringing that to this community and how you can leverage it and become a thought leader in the space, be more relevant to your customers, and that ecosystem play of partnering up with multiple folks to bring that together for a customer, it's a phenomenal opportunity. Yeah. And we want to help be a part and be a catalyst for this opportunity.
Well, I'm glad you brought up community, because if you're not following what we're doing at Ultimate Partner, an unselfish plug, but we host events. We help organizations come up and rise and build their businesses around the hyperscalers, primarily Microsoft, but we also do work with Google and AWS as well. And we host events. We'll have an event May 1st and 2nd where we'll have incredible leaders, top leaders in the industry come, partners like yourself who have built their businesses. And we're getting a lot of MSPs and smaller partners because they're not seeing the content and the opportunity to scale their businesses from any place else. And so I'd encourage you to check us out, The Ultimate Partner, Ultimate Guide to Partnering, and we'd love to have you come along with us.
And I think just one last thing on that, and maybe Arun, you want to just pick up on this, is I think partners are a little bit intimidated by Microsoft because it's the 800-pound gorilla or whatever expression you want to use about this. But they couldn't be a more friendly organization and ecosystem to work with. Forget the complexity of some of the administrative things, because every company has that and they need to for all the right reasons. But when you want to really get into growing the business, building the relationships, working closely, it is probably one of the most partner-friendly organizations we've ever worked with.
Agreed.
Thank you for that. I know we are running
we are at time. I want to thank you all for watching and listening and paying attention. Stephen, thank you for your partnership. Arun, thank you for being on board and supporting this amazing case study today. And thank you all for joining us.
Maybe just a plug for later that we're
for the later.
Yes. Yes. And we have a session at 2:30. I think it is.
That is correct.
Yep. In I don't know what room it is, but
in the Expo hall.
In the Expo. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you all later.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Show.